Yeah.
I think we are live, brother. All
All
right.
right. All right.
Let me get my. I wrote it down on my phone to make sure I'm not messing stuff up. Everything good on your end? You ready?
I'm good. I'm ready when you are.
All right, man. What's good, everybody? Another episode of Fueled by Craft. Today's episode is a special one. I'm sitting down with my cousin Kai Phoenix, an up and
Sure.
coming professional wrestler who's in early stages of his journey and just really putting in that work. I'm gonna ask him a few questions about the grind, how tough it's been, and just looking forward to this journey coming up. Kai Phoenix, what's the deal, man?
Hey, what's good? What's good? Thank you for having me.
Uh,
Before we get started, I just want to say, speaking of the grind, I see what you've been doing on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. You putting in that work. So thank you for having me and let
hey,
me be part of your journey as well.
likewise in the blood, bro. We both grinding. It's
Yes,
gonna be
sir. Yes, sir.
as you can tell by the title of this video and by the introduction, like I said, Kai Phoenix is the up and coming professional wrestler hitting the indie scene. Has his debut match on the King of the Hill Rumble, if I'm not mistaken, January
Correct.
24th.
Correct.
Just to dive right into that, what part of wrestling do you think people don't respect, and from the outside looking in, we might take for granted of like how hard it might be?
I think the thing people kind of underestimate about wrestling a lot, or not respect, as you put it, is it takes everything, right? Like it's not just looking the part. It's not just knowing what to say. It's being a complete package. And like obviously, like as a wrestler, you will have certain things you're better at in one area. Like you
Right.
may be better in ring than you are talking, or vice versa. But if you don't have it all, you're not going to get far. Like obviously, I haven't. Um, I'm not a big name, so to speak, yet. Like people don't know me just yet. But
Yeah.
from what I've seen so far, it's the complete package is typically what gets you far. And then if you look at like the greats, like the Rocks, the Austins, the Shawn Michaels, they could do it all, and it's that versatility of being that complete package that I think is the it takes a lot of mental focus, a lot of physical focus, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't take that into account.
So I've been watching. I don't know if you've been kind of keeping up with it, but Unreal on Netflix,
Hmm.
following WWE. I just got done watching season 2. I think it was episode 1 when they focused on Becky Lynch, and she was
Hmm.
saying how she was gone for about a year, and even though that she was in shape, there's a difference between in shape and in ring shape.
One
And
hundred percent.
I know, obviously you looked the part. You've been in good shape, but how is that translated to like in ring shape? Is the cardio harder?
Yeah.
Um, on the body, she was saying how it felt like she just went to war because she was just taking bumps. The entire
Mhm.
episode. Exactly. How does it? How does that feel as far as like I said, in ring shape versus just being in shape in general?
Um, Being in shape, right? I've been an athlete all my life.
Yep.
I did every sport available in high school. I did 4 years in the army. Yeah, physical activity isn't necessarily hard for me. Being in the ring is completely different because it's like, again, it's like a mental thing of like when you get tired and you're going for a run, you're just like, I just have to keep running.
Right.
In the ring, you got to know where you are, where your opponent is. Ring placement is important. You gotta keep track of what's going on with the crowd. You got to keep track of how much time you have.
All that at one time.
Yeah. So you can. There is no off switch. You don't get to. You got to stay locked in. You don't get to turn your brain off. You just got to keep moving. And I think that part of it is the mental cardio on top of trying to keep up with everything physically is a big challenge, especially for me.
For sure. You mentioned mental, like how mentally tough it is and how mentally challenging it could be. I'm not a wrestler, nowhere near close to it, but I feel like if I was in your position, I think one thing that I would struggle with the most is like trusting who I'm working with in the ring.
Hmm.
Because some people, and like I said, we've been watching wrestling forever. We know just by hearing and watching, some wrestlers are a lot safer to work with than other wrestlers. Like, how
Hmm.
do you get your mind to prepare for like, okay, I just gotta trust who I'm in the ring with. Like I said, you got this rumble coming up, so not only is it gonna be one person in the ring, you're gonna be dealing with multiple people trying to come at you. So how do you get your mental ready, knowing that hey, I gotta trust these guys that I'm getting in the ring with?
Um, at the end of the day, everybody's chasing the same dream, right?
Yeah,
Um, I'm trying to make it. The person next to me is trying to make it. Um, Nobody wants to be the guy that oh, this person had a promising career, but then Kai Phoenix was unsafe with them. So everybody's kind of in mind of keeping each other safe.
Right.
So once you get that burned into your brain of this person doesn't want me to fail, you kind of just go. It's something you don't really think about anymore, unless it's apparent that like, oh, this person may not be safe, and,
Yeah,
and at that point you're like, okay, like I need to protect myself. But um, for the most part, it's that trust is kind of like built into the business itself.
for sure. Talked about trust, talked about the in ring, I mean, like, being in shape. The next
Mhm.
thing I want to kind of go into is like the character work, the promos. Um, Again, if I'm not a wrestler, but outside of the mental thing, I feel like I would kind of maybe struggle with the promos, especially like in front of live crowds and,
Mhm.
people like that. Has that been something that has been difficult to you, or, like how often do you have to practice like promo things? Because you seem like you're really good at
Right.
it, stuff I've been seeing on YouTube and the clips I've been watching.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. As far as promo work, it's in character work for me. It's I don't overthink it.
Yeah,
Like I don't. I go into a promo like I am Kai Phoenix. You know, this is what I need to say.
yeah,
I don't think of like I don't. I try not to overthink it because it's one of those things. I just feel it. Like in in every clip you see me in so far, that's how Kai Phoenix feels in that situation. You mentioned the King of the Hill Rumble coming up. We got IP Mason going up against Jalen Strong for the
yeah,
International Championship.
yeah,
Kai Phoenix does not like Jalen Strong.
at
You
all.
know,
Not so
that's
strong, Jalen Strong. Yeah.
so that's just how it works.
Mm,
I don't really go into it trying to do it a certain way. It's just like how does Kai Phoenix feel in this moment, and I just go.
100%. So you brought up IP Mason. From what I've been watching so far, over 500 days, or is it 500 days as champion?
Closing in on 500. Closing in on 500.
500. I've seen he's 3-0 against Jalen Strong, if I'm not mistaken. This match coming up will be 4-0. Seen the stipulation that if he does lose, that being Jalen Strong, he is out
Mhm.
of contention for the title as long as IP Mason is champion. We mentioned the clips that we've seen on YouTube and the promos you've been doing, and I've seen you've been really close to IP Mason. How has
Mhm.
his dynamic and his relationship, helped you on your wrestling journey so far?
IP's been fantastic, man. Like, uh, for somebody of his caliber, what he's doing in his career already,
Mm,
to take a moment and take me under his wing and show me things and let me know, like, hey, you don't have to do this in this moment, or hey, why are you doing this when you can do this instead?
mm,
And just giving me free game essentially from stuff
yeah,
he learned the hard way. He's just telling me, hey, you could do it this way instead. So it's been really beneficial for me to be able to soak in that knowledge. That's just free knowledge, man. Somebody being able to hold down a championship, hold down a division for nearly 500 days.
that's tough.
That doesn't happen by accident. That's a testament to who he is as a wrestler.
100%.
And for him to impart that knowledge onto me, hopefully I can pull off something like that myself in the future. But it's been great. Much respect for IP. Much respect.
No doubt. I definitely think that you got it in you, you know what I'm saying, to do something like that in the near future. Outside of IP, is there any other wrestlers, male or female, who have been maybe not as impactful, but just as helpful, maybe in promo work, maybe in the ring, maybe from the mental side? Any other wrestlers that have been, kind of had
Uh,
that effect on you?
you're gonna get me in trouble because I'm gonna forget somebody.
For sure.
Um, definitely, definitely want to talk about the new guys. Their tag team on the independent scene.
Okay.
Jake Bosch and Scott Stanley. Uh, Jake unfortunately recently retired, but they were such a great tag team that actually the people who literally got me in told me where I needed to go, how to train, who to train with. So definitely big respect for them. Anakin Murphy is killing it right now in the independent scene. If you haven't heard of him, please, if you take anything away from this interview, please go follow Anakin Murphy. Please
Check
go follow please go follow IP Mason. Please go follow new guys. Casey Carrington, also recently retired, um, was is a really big help for me. Um, and it's so many people. There's a lot of good people out there who want to see other people succeed, who want to see new wrestlers come in and grow the business and keep the business alive. And there's so many people in my corner, and I if I don't say you by name, it's not because you haven't made an impact.
Yeah,
It's just so many people. Names escape me right now,
for sure.
but there's a lot of great people.
Um, and that's what's up. People have been cool with you. I think, and I wanted to say my most important question for last. Like I said, we talked about in the ring, mental, who's been helping you. But I think a very slept on aspect that might not be broadcasted, with your character so far is you are a new father. I'm a new
I
father.
am.
Really great thing. You're doing a great job.
Mhm.
How has fatherhood kind of inspired your day to day to like, okay, I gotta make this thing shake. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I've been watching Unreal. I've been seeing how, from the outside looking in, Becky Lynch, how it's hard for her to be away from her daughter because she's training and wrestling.
Mhm.
Naomi just got pregnant. She's about to have a baby, so she's going to experience that. Alexa Bliss just came back from having a baby. So how has fatherhood just affected your day to day as a wrestler?
Um, so for me, that's like the driving force behind all this, right? Because since we was kids, I always said, I was gonna be a wrestler one day. That was always my dream. Um, so for me to go out and do and do this and chase my dream, I can look my daughter in the eye and say, go do it.
Yeah,
I don't have to experience a moment where I'm telling my daughter like, oh, go chase your dreams, and she's like, did you chase your dream, daddy? And I had to go, no.
yeah,
You know, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to experience that feeling. So that's like the driving force behind it every day.
sure.
It is hard being away because um I feel like I'm gonna miss moments.
Yeah.
I probably am gonna miss moments, and it's tough. But she is the reason I do what I do.
And that's what's up, man. Like you said, it's pretty much the driving force. As long as you and I can relate to this because, like I said, we are both new fathers. Once you got that kid, man, like you understand what love is. You understand like dreams and stuff. But once you have that baby and that baby looking in your eyes and you smiling, bro, it's like that third gear that maybe you didn't even know you had. Um,
Yeah,
it kind of kicks in. So I could definitely see how that could, if practice might be too hard one day. Like I said, your body feeling crazy through all the bumps, but you see that smile, like, hey, I followed my dreams, I did it. So she can't look up and be like, oh, well, dad's a hypocrite. Or I use this example all the time. I was
yeah,
in school doing a DARE program. The lunch lady got a DARE shirt on, smoking cigarettes outside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you told me
yeah,
not to smoke, but you smoking in front of us. So it's like,
yeah.
how do we know what to really do? So leading by example is a great thing. Before we get out of here, bro, and I do appreciate you again, fam, for giving me some of your time. Like I said, January 24th, big debut, King of the Hill Rumble. I need your top five. I'm a top five guy in all sports. So I'm gonna kind of switch it up a little bit. Give me top five new guys in WWE, AEW, whatever promotion you want to give me that you maybe watch film and pull from, and that you just kind of draw your biggest inspirations from, if you have a top five.
Uh, my top five. Um, I definitely want to throw Kyle Fletcher out there. I think everything he's done the past year has been phenomenal.
The Beast.
Um, got to talk about Swerve. Oh yeah, talk about Swerve, Devon,
Yeah, I
Trick. Um, what's that? That's four.
think we have four.
Um, and then you said new or just people in the scene in general.
Let's just go with somebody in the scene. I don't even got to necessarily be new.
Um, I like a lot of Seth Rollins stuff, especially before like back in like 2016, 2015, before he had the knee injury.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's an honorable mention.
sure.
Pac or Neville, if you're not familiar with him outside of WWE.
Yes, sir.
Really phenomenal, really, really good wrestler.
Yes, sir. Like Pac, like I said, for my top five, if I'm gonna go in no particular order, I'm gonna have to steal some of yours. I really like Trick and I like Javon. Um,
Hmm.
I might be with the minority. I'm a big Gunther guy. Like I appreciate
Oh, nah, I love Gunther.
I appreciate how like again, this is from the outside looking in. So like no disrespect to the wrestlers. Sometimes I feel like people can maybe get carried away in their gimmick, or like maybe I think it's a such thing as doing too much.
Hmm.
We really simplified, like, hey, you don't have to have the craziest gear. You don't have to, not that that's not necessary, but just from like a heel standpoint, he really showed how simple yet complex like a heel can be. And now he's kind of getting that retirement gimmick. So I really like Gunther. I'm a big tag team guy, and really, I used to like Pretty Deadly, bro, before they got hurt, just because I like gimmicks and I like tag teams that look like, you know what I'm saying, they belong together. So I think I would probably throw that in my top 5. But like I said, January 24th, Kai Phoenix debuts, King of the Hill Rumble. You do not want to miss it. Future up-and-coming pro wrestler. This will not be our last time having these type of conversations. This is something.
Oh no, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again.
Oh, like this is my fam. So even if it's not from the interview standpoint, I'm definitely gonna be keeping up with your career. Praying for a safe wrestling career. Congratulations again on fatherhood, man. And just I appreciate you for taking the time to hop up here and talk about your journey, man. It's been cool. This is what's up.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to get in the ring, let me know.
Hey, I might leave that to you, big dog. That, bro. I might hoop a little bit, but that ring stuff, I don't think I'm built for that, bro.
Hey, we can hoop too. Let me know.
We're going to have to make that happen. And if you're watching this, me and Kai Phoenix 2-on-2, I like us against anybody that think, you know what I'm saying, they want to try that.
Hey, let's run it. I'm locked down.
Let's get it. Locked down. You know what I'm saying? And it's a family dynamic too, so, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be great. Appreciate you, man. Before I get out of here, any graphic design needs, hit up Arter Kai, my father, Kai Phoenix's uncle. Really talented graphic design artist. Shout out Kyle. Shout out everybody that's kind of been keeping up with this stuff, man. One love. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.